What's up, guys? Johnny here, Ohio State football Scarlet. Great here on Chat Sports. Thanks so much for joining us. I'm going to talk about the Akron game recap, and I'm going to tell you guys, I'm going to need you. I'm going to need a lot of comments on this video because I need you guys to talk me off the ledge because I'm not impressed. Don't get me wrong. I can tip my cap to good football player, and there's some great football players and things going on in Columbus. I'm not impressed, though, and I'm going to need you to listen to why, and I'm going to need you to talk me off the edge. I'm going to go into this video and say, listen, I know I'm being that negative fan. I'm not trying to be. These are just the thoughts that I can't get out of my head. Maybe this is therapy. I'm going to get them out there, and maybe I want your feedback on this because it's getting bothersome. It really is. What's going on with the Buckeyes and how they continue to play in their openers, culture, everything. So, talk me off the ledge. I'll explain why I'm not impressed, and maybe we can get through this together. I don't know. Maybe then next time you can come back and we can talk about my childhood and some deeper issues that you guys can help me with. But as it sits right now, we have 6,180 subscribers, 6,180. Love to get to 7,000 by the game. Make James Yoder pay. I believe, correct me if I'm wrong on this, Mr. Yoder, but I believe you have promised Mr. Goldman and myself a $20,000 bonus for Christmas if we get the game, 7K by the game. I cannot confirm that. I believe that's true, James Yoder. If you don't pay up now, you look bad for shorten this kid, man. This kid, I mean, you can stiff me. That's fine with this kid, but you got to take care of him. You're going to really promise him something then not deliver. All right. The Ohio State Buckeyes, guys, against Akron, I will just tell you the reason why they won, big is the reason why we thought they would win big and that they should win big, and that is the overwhelming force. Now, this is not like, ooh, the play calls were just excellent and these guys were running wide open, and we in some plays, yes, that we we just got a lucky break, that kind of thing. It wasn't this thing where everybody was super crisp, nobody's dropping passes. Everybody did their exact assignment, and we just kind of got through it. No, it was over. Now that's kind of how it was on our first scoring drive. Took 14 plays. It was pretty disgusting. And that's what it took you to score once against Akron. But what had eventually happened was overwhelming force. We're playing a high school team. Akron is really bad. Now, Joe Moorhead is a good offensive coach. They're not bad. They're better or way worse than Fresno State, who that team up north played. But they're really bad. And the Buckeyes just kind of hung around, and then the overwhelming force. That's when you started getting tip ball interceptions. The Denzel Burke interception. I mean, against a better team, he just gets cooked for that catch. I mean, he get cooked, but he got slightly beat. Wide receiver makes the catch. The Denzel, but they're not a good team, so we overwhelmingly force that, get a turnover, get a touchdown. The Gabe Powers, the deflection, I think, was Matthews. The good, again, just force, just great players everywhere in that second string. Then you start getting Tyleik Williams blowing up run plays. You see JTT getting loose. Jack Sawyer causing mostly just pressures like crazy. And then you see the offensive line start to pull and pin and get Trey open. You see Trey was just so much better than any running back Akron will ever. He was so good. Jeremiah Smith, freak. We're figuring him out. And Will Howard wasn't overwhelming. He was what we thought. He was good enough. But the Buckeyes have overwhelming force, and that's why they win these games. They still look pretty sloppy as an opener. Ryan Day helped me ease my mind a little bit when he made this. This is sort of an excuse, but it's pretty true. He said there's a lot of, besides being down, you're down 3 starters. Comment sections, I'm sure, remind me that right now. You're down. You got some issues on the O-line. So you're down at least 2 if you include Cody Simon, who I think is going to be I don't actually know. I see CJ Hicks play every down linebacker, and I'm like, yeah, Cody's going to be way better. But I don't know. Really, I don't know. I haven't seen him do it. So, but he's the starter for a reason. So you had Will Howard, even though he's an experienced guy, first time in the shoe. Quinshon Judkins, first time in the shoe. Tegra, first time starting in the shoe. The Sevierville or whatever his name is, first time starting in the shoe. So I understand there may have been some jitters. Again, Will Howard made his debut. He looked like what I thought he'd look, white JT Parrott. Good ball placement, nothing extremely flashy. Man, if you guys want to get really mad, watch Kyle McCord spin it all around at Syracuse and go for over 350 and 4 touchdowns and was just dropping dimes. Looked like, it was the McCord that made you go last year, oh, okay, we're going to be all right. Every now and then you have a moments where you were like, we're going to be all right with this guy. That's what it looked like. But Will Howard just looked okay. He can do it. He was more mobile. He avoided some sacks and he made a few throws. He's okay. He's going to be all right. And that's all you got to do on this team is all you have to do is execute. And that is my worry. So I want this to getting into execution. This is what I'm wondering about. I don't trust this team. I don't trust any Ryan Day's teams when I look on the field and see this year after year after year. Right, this is Ryan Day's first chance to get it right, and there'll probably be some like, oh, and it was his first year after he screws this one up. And I'm a Ryan Day fan, but I'm kind of starting to. I'm afraid I'm seeing it for what it is, and I usually can spot these things beforehand. That's why I'm worried. So I need your opinion. Can Ryan Day now? I think he used to just as a head coach, he was basically like, hey, I am the offense, and everybody else, I need you to do a good job at what I put you in charge of. Defense, special teams, whatever. You just got to do a good job. If they don't do a good job, he didn't have any way to fix it. So now he is back, and Chipp is getting a lot of say in the offense as the offensive coordinator. And then he gets to actually manage the team, NIL, CEO stuff, all that. I think that is going to hopefully serve him well in this regard of can the Buckeyes execute? I got an exclamation point there instead of a question mark, probably because I'm frustrated. I watched this team, man, and we didn't win that game because we were super sharp. We just didn't. We won it because we had overwhelming force. Anybody watches that game, it took you it's our first game. We got to iron out the rankings. So does Akron. It's their first game too. Some of them never played football before. That's how bad that team is. You played a team that literally picked a few guys up at the campus YMCA shooting hoops and threw pads on them and took them into Columbus Stadium. And it took you 14 plays the first time to score on those guys, Jim Knowles, Chip Kelly. That's what's concerning to me is the lack of execute. Oh, we had to what were you doing in camp? Well, we were making cool video clips. Year after year after year, the Buckeyes come out flat. And then they got to try to figure it out. I've seen it time and time again. Minnesota game a couple years back. It's every opener. Now, people say, oh, you got to iron out. It's possible to look good week one. Nick Saban's Alabama's teams used to do it all the time. Kirby Smart's team just suplexed. The belly to back suplex throw. Just suplex Clemson like 3 times. Imagine 2 dudes in a bar fight wanting to do just so much better. He just slips behind, belly to back, tosses them until he knocks them out. That's what you just saw. Now, granted, psychology is a lot of this. You get up more when you're playing a brand like Clemson than you would against the Akron School for the Blind and Deaf. So I understand why the Buckeyes might have been a little flat, but that's Ryan Day's job to get people to execute. When you look about going through, I watched the Michigan game, and those guys were not overwhelming force over Fresno State at all. Fresno State's a much better team, but what they did do down the stretch is what they've been doing for the last 4 years is just simply execute it. You don't need to be just these world beat. Think about this. To win the game, JT Barrett is 4-0. How many games did CJ Stroud never won a game against Michigan? JT Barrett's 4-0. I should tell you what you need in that game. You don't need, and again, there's defense and all that. And that's what I'm talking about. You need a complete offensive and defensive side of the ball that just executes. You don't need a CJ Stroud and a JSN and a Garrett Wilson and a Olave. That sounds unbeatable, but it's not. Now, granted, there's some stuff going on in Michigan. I'll give you a couple passes. But when Michigan used to lose to us all the time, they wouldn't execute. You look down the stretch against Michigan last year, did we execute? Did we The defense all of a sudden gave up a point on every single second half drive. All of a sudden not executing. Just all of a sudden. It's weird. Biggest game of the year. That final play, the interception that was trying to get to Marv, the Kyle McCord threw. Do you see the O-line? I forget who was on the interior there. That block, this just looked like a sloppy fat guy lunging at somebody. The biggest moment of your career. It looked like Corey trying to keep somebody away from the meatloaf at Golden Corral, just a flop and lunge. And McCord's, thrown into a sack, can't get anything on the ball. Executing the big games. The Buckeyes haven't been doing it. I will tell you, there's a lot. I know you need to talk me off the ledge here. Nothing in that game inspired confidence to me that the Buckeyes will just execute big moments, that they're just guys that are professional and ready to go. No, they look like they were drunk the night before out at whatever club is in Columbus, and then they ironed out their wrinkles in the second half. And they went and they were just so much better than the other team. They dominated them. You imagine if that team executes. Imagine if, and you can't tell me they were ready to go in the first half. You just can't. You're objectively wrong about that. Objectively wrong. But if that team comes out ready to go in the first half, I understand there'll be a little jitters, a little human element. But playing to 9 out of 10 perfection in the first half. Can you imagine just the absolute roar of it? This was a game that the good thing about the game is we got to watch starters into the fourth quarter. Usually by these games, halfway through third quarter, Ryan Day just mails it in. All right. So you don't need this absolute greatness to go win the game. Back on topic. You need guys that will just do their assignment, not get stupid penalties, execute the little things, not drop touchdown passes, not jump off sides, not false start. When you can do that, you can change. It's really hard to beat you. You imagine a team that just is never behind the chains. They never shoot themselves in the foot. No matter how good you are, that's hard to beat. And I don't know that Ryan Day can get his guys there. I am optimistic that, hey, this is Chipp's first game, Ryan's first game back with him. That there was a lot of first-time starters in the shoe, and that things do get better over time. It is possible, but that's shoot me right in the face. We have to say this every opening weekend. That's what blows my mind. We don't want to be champions week 1. Yeah, let's play catch-up every year. And that's what goes back to my question. I'll ask it again. Can Ryan Day be a kingmaker? Is he the guy to just have guys? I think Urban had people literally scared to not be ready to go on day 1. I don't know. Let me know what you guys think. I appreciate you being here. Maybe talk me off the ledge a little bit. It's good therapy, good counseling. I'll see you next time. As always, goodbye. God bless. Hey, go Bucks.